What up, ground up house flippers? I got this big ass honking house behind me, and man, do I want this thing bad. This is down the street from my crib. I could literally skateboard down here, run down here, walk down here. This is exactly what I've been looking for. It doesn't have a pool, so that might be an issue. I saw this post on Facebook and there was no comments, no likes. So I hit the person up. Come to find out, it's like a probably an assistant of some sort. So then I call some random number, got a hold of the dude, scheduled it. Well, they're doing a showing. So today we'll see how many freaking people show up. The good news is I got the address, so I'm here a little bit early, but I'm gonna tour it, go through it. Couldn't get a hold of my freaking, well, could get a hold of my new contractor, but he couldn't make it. So you're gonna hear me have to go back and forth with him while I'm here, take videos, and then present an offer. But this is exactly what I'm looking for, a big old honker like this, right in my neighborhood, and go max out house flipping. So follow me on the journey, homies. Let's go. All right, pulling up. I actually thought there would be like a bazillion people here, and there's really nobody. But man, my nerves are already going. These are always, it's just a little, I see a few people, but gets the nerves going again, knowing that you may be buying a property, especially from a wholesaler, and it's, you know, a showing, so there's probably a lot of people here. So I'm gonna get parked and I'm gonna take you through this house, but I wish I could show you guys what I'm feeling on the inside. You know, some of you guys have been doing it a long time, you know the feeling. So anyways, I'm gonna take you in. So I also wanted to just talk about something real quick. I haven't been posting as many videos lately, and it's not because I'm quitting, stopping, or whatever. I'm just taking my time. I'm really trying to find the right flip, you know, something like the one behind me. And I'm just gonna take my time. So I will put videos out. We do have some more stuff coming up soon. I'm gonna try and interview other people house flipping, but I'm gonna continue my journey house flipping. I'm just gonna do it my way. So videos are still gonna come out. A lot of you are joining this channel as of recently. You gotta start at video 1 and just walk it all the way through. I mean, it is literally like a Netflix series documenting my journey from the ground up. So every mistake I've made, how I set up the business, all, you know, how I get the loans, how I do the budgets, mistakes, again, all of that is in there. So you got to make sure that you start from the beginning. And if this is the kind of content you want, real like life house flipping, I'm not a guru. I don't make millions of dollars. I've lost money on flips. I get my ass kicked a lot, but I document all of it. Then you're going to want to like this video. That helps me. And then subscribe. Just don't miss any of these videos. So, do I do this one or not? Should I do it? You guys comment down below what you guys think. What?
But I'm not good enough to like.
It does.
It's a $10,000 job or a $20,000 job. I don't know. Like that's not my skill set.
I didn't know yet needed foundation, especially at the price range. I know the roof is old, like 20 plus years, and those are always difficult, especially when you go to sell. They'll kill you on the.
Yeah, I think today you have to have like a newer roof, or like people asked for a nice concession for one or the other.
That's what my exact thought was. Okay, and they're just going to beat you up on the concessions.
I decided to put a roof on this last one that I just did, and it wasn't leaking, but like I know people are gonna have a hard time getting insurance, so why overcome that objection and let people see it at the beginning with the new roof? But
exact same thing. I was like,
this one doesn't look like it's leaking. It's just
no.
Like when you're inside, you'll see the cracks, and if you look, you can see them underneath the windows and through the brick as well.
Oh yeah, you can right above that. The arch right there. Yeah.
These windows here too. So,
that's from that foundation. You can feel the foundation.
When you walk in, you can see it slopes. So like, I'm just not. That's not my skill set. Which I still want to come back and see what y'all do, but
I don't know if I'll do this one, but yeah.
Yeah, you can do this one. I like that microphone. You ready?
Thank you, man. Alrighty, so a guy recognized me. We were talking, and so now I haven't even made it in yet. But he says apparently already pretty gnarly foundation. You can see actually the cracks all along. See if you guys can see that. Pretty big right there. And it goes straight up. You can see them up top. And then if we come over here, you can actually see right up there, pretty good cracks right there. And then right here. So it doesn't kill you, but man, a house this big, 3,200 square feet, you start doing foundation stuff. I've done foundation at multiple, but they're always way smaller than this, you know? So the other thing is I was immediately, and just like he was talking about, he's a real estate agent up in the Woodlands, but was saying you'll get beat up in the concessions with the roof. It was the first thing that came to my mind when they said the roof was 20 plus years old is if you want to go top dollar, like which I want to do, I mean, these are the things that people are going to not only push them away, but they're going to kill you in the negotiation. This isn't COVID, so like you don't have 50 buyers and waiving inspections anymore. But anyways, really cool, really nice detached garage, super nice. Nice gate here. Check out this backyard. Now that is a backyard. Only thing that would make it better is a pool. So anyways, I'm gonna pop in here and I'm gonna check some things out. The other thing I was noticing, I mean, siding, roofing siding and stuff isn't too bad, but you definitely have some rot, pretty gnarly. But I mean, if it's just replacing the boards, that's super easy. But if there's more issues, you know, if that's all in the walls and stuff, that can be pretty gnarly. You may have to replace quite a bit of this siding because you can kind of see it under here too. And then you see that roof with all the pine needles, all that kind of stuff. The problem with that is around here, because I live here, and my roof's like 12 years old or something. It's getting tougher and tougher to insure these things. So agents are going to tell their clients that like, hey, you know, you're not going to be able to get insurance. Maybe with the roof that old, we'll ask for it. So this might be something that has great numbers. Then you go to the closing table. Well, doing a roof on a 3,000 plus square foot home over here, I mean, quotes I'm getting, even with good deals, is probably 20,000 bucks. So you have that. People see the roof hurting, and then the single pane windows are big items. Now, I'm not naysaying this whole thing. I'm just starting to learn now, like, hey, you got to do everything right. Do you have to do the windows? No, but the roof is, and then people are going to see it. Like, you can actually, let's see, you know, just all the bottom boards along the roof, they're all rotten, you know, so stuff you definitely have to fix. You need to figure out how to get in here. Hey, how are you, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good.
What's your name?
I'm Jackson.
Hey, Jackson.
What's your name?
Raleigh.
You are Raleigh. Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too. All right. Yeah, I think we talked on the phone a couple days ago, so definitely.
So you're gonna just do a video walk around?
Yeah, and I don't have my contractor here today, so I got to get some videos of the
Take your time.
kitchen, all the major stuff, you know. Yeah. What do you know as for like major? It looks like foundations a little.
So there is going to be some slight settling. I see some here.
Yeah, and on the front.
Here.
Okay. Oh yeah. Yep.
And let's see. Here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can definitely kind of just feel it. It's got a slope to it, huh? Okay, so here's the kitchen. Big support walls here, either side, but pretty open. Would probably do just one big oversized island in the center and get rid of this. All new cabinets, brand new, and rip out soffit go to the ceiling with the cabinets. We've got an electric range currently. I don't know if there's a way to tie gas in.
There is gas in the house.
There's gas in the house, perfect. So we definitely want to convert to a gas cooktop, and I'm not sure if we'd put it in the island or on the countertop, but we would convert. And then I don't know if there's much of a huge layout change. Probably keep almost this whole room the same. We may blow out that pantry and do something different. Would have to see what's behind the walls here, but for the most part, not a huge structural change. Really looking to do that big island and really nice cabinets in there. All right, I am gonna go in that primary bedroom. Pretty good sized room. All new flooring throughout the whole house. None of it matches. Bathroom is just a full remodel. They've got 2 closets. One here, you got a tub and another one there, and then it does have a shower in here as well. So my thoughts are probably, this is definitely where my wife comes in, but obviously keeping the room the same, try and maybe make one big closet, keep the bathtub, do a new walk-in shower, or just kind of open this whole thing up and do one giant walk-in shower. But regardless, basically a full bathroom remodel. So this area through the kitchen is a half bath, a powder bath, and then the laundry room too. Maybe a remodel, maybe make this one big area, but really probably get away. It looks like we've got water leakage right there coming from somewhere, and that is outside where the cracks and stuff are from the windows. Not sure if it's coming from that. We'll go check upstairs. all new carpet, all new paint, all new baseboards, all new fixtures, fans, lights, and then these bathrooms we've got a remodel, so probably new vanity, bust out the tile and just do a new modern shower. You've got soffit up here, rip that out, so walk-in tile shower, or keep the tub, since for kiddos it's nice to have tubs, but regardless, probably be tearing all these out and just going new and custom. If we're going high end, not sure if that's, okay, it's not wet. I think the drywall, everything's good. It's just peeling. The shutters are actually pretty nice. Probably keep all those and then just, yeah, repaint this whole house. Feels pretty good. And then same bedroom, repaint, new trim, flooring or carpet. This is a big bonus room. I wonder why, if they had a big leak or something, they taped all of this. Looks like they redid the windows up here though. These are all double pane, these are new. So maybe they remodeled and put those windows in. Maybe those weren't even in here, I don't know. So I would imagine might be able to get away with painting this wainscot, but then again, we gotta get rid of this old thing. Just all new paint, new light fan fixture, new can lights. So this room is really just paint it and update it. That's it. Another bedroom. What's back here? Okay, so full bathroom, just one more bathroom update. So that's one bathroom up here, two bathrooms up here, and the master bathroom. That's kind of what I'm seeing. So here's my initial thoughts right now. They're asking $379. They had a buy it now price at $399, so $400,000. Roof is a big thing. This foundation thing, I really need to get an expert in here. So there's zero chance I'm really buying this today without a foundation. I don't see a lot of people here, which is crazy. I thought this place would be packed. So what I'm gonna do is call a foundation guy to come check this out. I'm gonna call my contractor as well and just get his opinion. In fact, I'll do that here in a little bit. My biggest issue, this is exactly what I wanna flip. This is where I wanna flip. I could run here if I want, I could jog here, I could ride my bike, I could skateboard, I could do kick flips all the way here. Like, it's close to the house. I know this area sells, but what's happening, I'm looking at the market, is if it's, like if I just painted these cabinets, you're seeing a few houses like that, they're sitting, right? Because people come in and they're so big, they're over 3,000 square foot, and they're like, okay, you're marketing this thing, but now I got to put in 50, 100 grand. They don't want to do that, but if it is done right, they're selling like hotcakes. Problem is, this doesn't have a pool. So the ones that are selling in the upper fives or even mid sixes around this area, and some of them are even more square footage than this, have a pool. It's a home run. They will take the bathrooms not being remodeled if they got the pool. If you ain't got a pool, then the house has to be just out of this world. So if they're already wanting 400, I'm thinking a house of this size, and I'm not even including the roof or the foundation work. My goal was to keep it within like 70,000 bucks, and that's just all new paint. Like this whole upstairs, it just needs the two bathrooms, and then just paint the whole thing and carpet. Carpet, that stuff's all cheap. New base trim, you know, a couple $1,000. Even these doors and stuff, these are actually really nice, solid doors. Perfect, paint them. The trim up here, this room actually has new like skip trowel texture. It's really nice. Just need to retexture the wall here. I would even think about putting like a cheap little, like a almost projector screen there, just to make it look, you know, pop. Regardless, what's gonna kill, and so I think this thing sells. They have an ARV of 555. I don't know if this would appraise at that. So again, you have to realize when you're doing hard money out of pocket, you can say whatever the ARV is until you're blue in the face, but it's an actual appraisal value. So they may come in at 525 or something like that, you know, and then you got to come out of pocket to cover that. I've done a lot of videos on this, so I'm trying to come out of pocket as minimal as possible. So I already know that if I'm going to move on something like this with the roof and the foundation, I'm going to have to be closer to 300. I don't know if they'll do it. I don't, you know, they probably might laugh at me, but with no pool, you've got to knock this thing out and you got to do it right. And that kitchen, you know, all the flooring downstairs, I think it's going to add up pretty quickly. But my big worry is, again, even if you knock this thing out, I would even paint the front. I think I gotta make it really, really stand out. Try and get multiple, you know, bids in there, offers, and then price it pretty aggressively so it doesn't sit. And those are all the things that are going through my mind, you know, as doing this for a year now. At the end of the day, this is from a wholesaler. My goal is to try and find my own deals like this, because who knows what they got this thing at, you know? But that's what I need to figure out. And I'm starting to talk to more and more local realtors, try and get deals from them, that kind of stuff. So you got to work with wholesalers, but you never know how much they're charging. So I'm going to make a couple phone calls. I'll record that as well. All right, so I'm done touring it. I don't think there's a tire kicker in there, but I don't think anybody else showed up. So basically, I think it's mine if I wanted it. They're at $379, and he just said they can't move on the price. They're going to keep it there because if they don't get that, they're just going to list it. So I think they could probably list it, you know, and get in that upper threes, maybe low fours in the condition it's in. I don't, maybe, but I also think they might move on it that price a little bit. So I need to figure out the foundation and all that. I'm just nervous a little bit about no pool and trying to get that 550. In fact, let's go through it. I'll do all the math too on this with the calculators and stuff. Let's say you could sell it for 550. I don't think you could. Well, if I paint the outside and make this thing baller as can be inside, then yeah, I think you could probably get in that 550 range. It's looking more like 525-ish. So let's go off of that number. 525,000 times 0.75. I'm looking for a 75% deal. That equals 393. And then you look at a $70,000 budget. You need to be at 323,750. Now I need to see. I don't think you can stay within 70. I just don't like, and what I meant was the roof too, because I just think you might get some serious flack on the roof. I'm not sure. I'm gonna try and call him. Hey, Mike, how are you?
How you doing?
Good. Just leaving this property here.
Okay.
So it's 3,200 square foot, 5-bedroom.
Okay.
It's got some foundation issues, so it's definitely gonna need it probably in a few. Not like bad, but you can feel it.
Okay.
The other thing I'm noticing is the roof is over 20 years old. It says too, so you could still sell it with that, but I think it's gonna be tough. You know.
Right. So it's probably gonna need a roof.
Yeah, and so you're a 3,200 square foot home and a detached garage.
A 2-story or 1-story?
2-story home with 4 bedrooms upstairs. All they need, the whole upstairs just needs all new carpet and new paint and new trim. And then there's 2 full bathrooms up there that would just need new tile, walk-in showers, make them nice, new vanities, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
The lower level needs a brand new kitchen, island, cabinets, the whole works.
Okay.
I have videos I can send you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And then the primary, the master bedroom, again, it's going to be all new flooring on the lower level, all new carpet upstairs,
Right.
new master bathroom, all that works. So it's
Is the house pretty much split up square footage wise?
Yes,
Pretty evenly between the top. Okay, good. That
It's
gives
like
me an idea.
almost a
What the
perfect
roof will
rectangle.
cost.
Yep.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that? I mean, if it's 20 years old, what are you seeing?
I mean, if it's that old and it's got that worn look to it, then yeah, I mean, you could always try to do some type of a power wash or a clean on it, but being 20 years old already, depending upon how rough that it looks, it would be something you'd want to replace.
Because the buyers just get a little scared on that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I mean, you could just play it as a, one of the items that they decide that they're going to say, hey, look, let's make it contingent on the fact that you guys replace the roof, or you add $5,000 in for replacing the roof or something.
Right.
But yeah, a house that size, 30, I mean, you're probably looking at, I mean, that could easily be a $15,000 roof because you've got the detached garage. Could be a little less than that, just depending upon the slopes.
Yeah, I was thinking 15, 20 grand. That just seems like what most people around here pay for roofs. You know, these are bigger homes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that cuts a huge chunk out of the budget.
What are you thinking your rehab budget needs to be?
Well, when we were looking at the numbers, Joe and I, with an ARV of 550, which I don't know if it would hit that or not,
Okay.
we would want a purchase price at about 350 and a rehab budget around like 70.
You're going to be more than 70 just based on the size of that house. You got 3 bathrooms, a kitchen,
Yep.
a roof. How's the AC?
The ACs are new and nice and working. It's ice cold in there. Yep.
Yeah, that's huge.
I mean, they're a couple years old.
Okay, so your ACs are good. If the plumbing doesn't need to be done, that's good. But you've got some of the major ones. I mean, the fact that you have the roof
Yep.
and the foundation, and then you just have then it just comes into square footage. 3,300 square feet or so. Paint's going to be higher. Flooring is going to be higher because the amount, you can almost look at the flooring being about 15 grand.
Okay.
Just for the LVP, and then you've got the carpet and stuff to do from there.
Yeah.
Depending upon the size of the kitchen, your bathrooms are probably $7 grand.
Yep.
$7 grand or more each, and then you've got your kitchen, which can easily be 10 grand based on the size. So I mean, with doing those types of deals, you can almost come to I'm thinking you're probably going to be closer to 100.
Yep.
Could be less, but just the thought process, walking it through.
Yeah, that, and well, especially if it didn't need foundation or roof, then we would be more in probably that 80 range-ish.
Right.
Okay, that makes total sense. That's usually where I'm about at with these.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good number. I'll probably have to go off of is that 100,000, especially with the roof. I've gotten burned so many times now with little things. You got to just do it right, or else they sit, man.
Oh, yeah.
So if you can maximize buyers and everything's done, you may be able to get that price up a little bit, but you got to do it right. So
absolutely, you got to do a real good remodel. That makes a huge difference on getting that maximum price.
Exactly, yeah. And if not, they sit, and that kills you.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, well, I'll send you the videos anyways, but I'll probably I got a pretty decent idea of where I need to be if I want to go with this.
Okay.
So
I'll be on the road most of the day and out of the new build that I've got. So when I get back later, I'll take a look at what you sent me.
okay, cool. Sounds good, man. You got a new build, you said?
Yeah, we're good.
If you did you've done a lot of new builds. What are you finding is like kind of the home run, like square footage, bedrooms, the air, like maybe the suburbs, that kind of thing? Like, what works the best?
Well, what we're actually looking to do, so I was actually in Dallas meeting with a friend of mine up there. Joe knows him, but it was actually Joe's friend that we went up to meet. I used to do new builds kind of in the Houston area. And we did what they called the mini mansions. You go in and you knock down, you got a 60 by 150 lot or something. You go in there and knock down the old house that's been there since the 40s, and you build, a 3,000 to 5,000 square foot house on it.
Yep.
And those types, that $1 million range, 1 to 2 million, that range moves constantly. It doesn't change. They just, people want, the price is good for them. They're coming in from out of state a lot of times, and they got plenty of money, and it just goes like hotcakes.
That's amazing.
A lot of times before because what we're looking to do is build specs. I don't want to build homes for people, even though this one I'm actually building it for a homeowner. But we want to build it, start it as a spec, and then try to have it sold before we finish it.
Yeah, dude.
That's the best way to go.
All right, so I'm going to go back and talk to the wholesaler, but to be honest, I mean, I'll put in an offer. He already said they wouldn't move. I got to be down to like 300. And here's the thing. I did that flip. My first one, it was almost 3,000 square foot. So this one's a little bigger, and it was only 4 bedroom. I think we turned it into a 5. Our budget for that, I think we ended up hitting right around that mid $90,000, and that's with painting the front. But we did not have to replace the roof, and we did not have to do any foundation work, although the foundation was a little jacked on that one, which cost me 30 grand. You OG ground up house flippers know that story, but that's what I'm saying. That foundation thing, you couldn't even feel it in that first house. It was flat as can be. I never would have known, and it cost me 20, 30 at the closing table. So those are the things I'm going to do ahead of time so I don't get nipped in the butt, just like this roof. And you heard him. He's like, man, if it looks worn, it's just, you got to replace it. That's the market we're in right now. So if it didn't need foundation and roof, like I said, I was thinking 80s anyways, because that's where I was on my other house. It's just kind of the going cost around here. So at 100,000, let's say you could sell it at 550. You're at 550 minus 100, so you're already at 450 right there. All of your closing costs and everything, you're probably around 30 at least. So you're at 420,000 right there. So your profit is everything under that. And if you're buying this at 380, you're working with maybe 30 to 40 grand, but that's if you sell it at 550. If it sells at 525, you're back down to zero. So comfortably, at 300,000, you know, for this is where I'd love to find it. You put 100 into it, you're at 400. And then, you know, all your closing costs, all that kind of stuff, it gives you a bigger, wider range. And if you sell it at 550, it's a home run, but you're more in that 500, 525 range. So you can make that 60, 70. So anyways, we'll go.
Did you want me to hang out?
No, I just got off I was just talking with them. So yeah, I don't, unless they can budge off that number, that 379 is going to be a lot. We're at 100,000 at least for the remodel. So with all said and done, I comped it maybe at 550, but I would be more in probably that 525-ish range. So I just don't think it's a deal at that 379-ish.
Okay.
So I'll submit one, but it would be lower. And I was talking to my contractor, he said the exact same thing I was thinking. He goes, if that roof is worn and they know it, usually they're gonna hit you with concessions at the end, so it's gonna take away from it anyways, and foundation work. But yeah, we're right at about 100,000 to flip this, to get it exactly how we would want it for tip-top shape.
Okay.
So
Just shoot me something, and
I'll shoot you something.
I'll have to talk to my office. I won't be able to make that
Yeah,
decision.
no, I really appreciate it.
But good meeting you.
Yeah, and we'll stay in contact since you get so many properties. I'm an active buyer, and I'm definitely looking here and
So-
maybe the Woodlands.
Do you have your phone with
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Your cell phone?
Yeah,
I
in my
wanted
pocket.
to show you something.
What you want to show me?
Go
Big
to
deal.
the text messages. I would have sent you a text message
You
just
did, yep.
reminding you of this.
Yep.
Okay, and click there. That's our link to our website.
Yeah.
And now click menu. Now go to investors
Hey.
and scroll down and then sign up for our investor list. Then do me a favor, shoot me a text message.
Yeah.
And
To this number?
To my
Okay.
number, and just say VIP.
Okay.
Normally, I don't put anybody on the VIP list unless they bought a property from
Okay.
us. But
Yep.
based on the conversations that we just had,
Yep.
you're a legitimate buyer.
Yeah.
What we try to avoid by doing this is I don't want somebody else to say that's their property and then they're a wholesaler, another wholesaler.
Yep.
You're coming straight to the source.
Yep.
That's why.
That's why, yeah. I want the properties. This is right. This is exactly what I want. I know what it takes to sell around here, and it's going to be a little more than what we thought. So this is a great home here. It just needs to be done right. I would love to see this thing
All right.
all
well,
spiffed up.
We'll see if it'll work out.
Okay.
And I'm probably going to do another showing next week.
Yep.
On this property, if you wanted to bring out your contractor
That might work, yeah.
at that time,
Yep.
and then maybe you can get some better numbers.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think we're pretty close. I've done a few of these almost this size, and that budget is usually right around that anyway. So I'm pretty good on the budget.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of what number can I purchase it at this point.
Yep.
So awesome, man. Thank you
Good
so much
meeting
for your
you.
time. I appreciate it. I'll contact you. I'll shoot you a text, email, I'll sign up and do all that.
Yeah. Sign up first.
Okay.
And then send me a text just saying VIP.
Yeah.
And when I have a chance, then I'll have to go into the system and then add you.
Perfect. Okay. VIP, baby. Hey, I'm pretty proud of myself. This is I was a little shaky on that one. I was like, my number. No, my number is 100K on that remodel. 525 is the ARV I got it at. I got to go off those numbers. So you guys, this is down in the description. Oh, by the way, Hard Money Joe and myself got a new site coming soon. And it's going to have all these calculators on it. Crazy calculators, but purchase price, I'm going to do this real quick. I want to see where I'm at. 300,000, that's the offer I'm going to put in. Rehab, 100,000. Resale, we'll go 525. These calculators are the best. I mean, you can do it on your phone, but this shows all your closing costs and shit. 525,000. Loan to value, 75%. So I'm looking at about $21,000, which isn't too bad out of pocket. So here's all your closing costs and everything. Let's see. That means if I want to get it to a true, like, as little money out of pocket as possible, I think if I change this budget to 90, and I'm not doing that, but I just want to see what the closing cost would be. Yeah, so it's a bigger home, about 15 grand. So $6,000. That is, no matter how cheap I get this, if I use hard money, I'm going to be looking at about $15,000 because the acquisition price. So when I bought those cheap ones, you can get into them 8, 9, 10 grand or whatever. But anyways, that's where I'm at. But this is what you have to swallow. That estimated monthly payment is $3,900, that middle one. So you got $4 grand a month. But with that, let's say best case scenario, you sold it at 550 minus 100 minus let's say realtor fees, closing costs, because it's $15,000 to get into this thing, right? That's gone. All your realtor fees, all your other closing costs, you know, let's just put 40 grand in there. Equals 550 minus 100,000 minus 40 equals $410,000. You purchased it at 300. You got 110 grand there. Obviously, there's going to be extra expenses, closing, you know, things to added budgets here and there, but that's possibly a number. And maybe I could offer a little bit more, like 325. But then again, I would have to come out of pocket with that. So that's what I'm going to do next. Sorry, I'm not in my office right now, but I'm using ChatGPT to help me write an offer. I basically went through the whole entire thing. I talked with Hard Money Joe, and nobody showed up to that property. They said they're actually going to show it again, but that's not what he said when in the living room. In the living room, he's like, if we don't get 379, we're just going to list it. So my thought is, okay, to get a 75% deal, I'm going to run my numbers off 525 with a 100K budget. Target offer would be 293. That's how I'd get to a 75% deal. Now, if I go into here, you'll see this is the cash to close. So purchase price would be 293,000. I'm going to go to 300, but just to show you, 100,000 and resale of 525,000. Now, you can do this loan, obviously, with a calculator by doing 525,000 times 0.7 would be a 70% deal. I'm doing 75. So once you do loans for a while, then they'll start to loan you more loan to value. So now they know I'm a real buyer. I've done 5 loans with them, so they're actually upping mine a little bit, if that makes sense. And I'll show you the difference. So if I did 70% loan to value, you're going to see my out of pocket would be $40,000. So now I'm more of an approved buyer. They go up to 75. You can see they have higher ones. My loan officer doesn't. And really, I don't, at this point, I don't want to be in deals like this, you know, after going through what I've done. So 75% loan has that right there, 15,000. So this is no matter how much lower I went with offer or anything, my out of pocket expense for this loan is 15,000 and a $4,000 a month payment. So really, it's important that we want to keep this number as low as possible. So the bigger, the more expensive the house is, this number is going to be a little bit bigger, right? I've talked about that already when I showed it on my phone. Now, I am going to do a purchase price of an offer, and I know they're not going to accept it, but maybe this opens the door a little bit, right? So 300,000. Remember we were at 15. That's about as low. So basically, we just added that $7,000 to here. So this would be my out-of-pocket expense. Now, the good news is, let's say that appraiser comes back and they actually appraise it at 550 or 530 or 540. Then I basically get that back. So what this resale value is going to go off of is what the hard money lender's appraiser appraises it at. So we would be shooting and talking to him to say, hey, we really think this value is around 550. So we would want that value to come in at least to like 530, if not more, 540. And that would then lower this number down. So that 7,000 that I'm paying extra is it's a holding cost. I don't lose that. It's just basically a holding cost. I would love for it to appraise at 532,000, just 7,000 more. Then these numbers stay the same. And you can see, you know, my cash to close goes down to 6,790. So obviously it's a little bit more. We get a $535,000 ARV, and there we go. Now we're at 15,820. So that's what I'm going to offer. So I've been using ChatGPT a lot to just kind of like give me what they think. And I actually took I wrote this big old long, nasty, gnarly thing, and I'm like, make this better. So this is what it wrote out for me. And this is what I'm going to text over to them. And again, I don't really expect them to accept it, but with no other offers, period, they may start thinking a little bit. And it might be some conversation to where maybe if we could get it at 325. I mean, initially when me and Hard Money Joe talked about it, getting it at about 350 wasn't a bad deal, but that's when the budget was going to be 70, 80 grand. So now that it's 100,000, if we were down at 325, you know, I'm getting that extra 25K. So anyways, it doesn't break my heart if I don't get it. And this is kind of what I've learned is I don't care. I'm going to walk. I'm not going to, like, I want this flip so bad. It's right down the street, but I'm not going to put myself in any kind of harm's way or come out of pocket, you know, massive amounts of money. I don't want to do that anymore. Because look at, I mean, even if they're like full price, right? 379,000 purchase with a 100K budget, and the resale value is still at 535. I mean, it's crazy, out of pocket expensive, right? So there's just no sense in it. Even if you go, you know, here and you do the calculator, right? And we do 500. Let's say you sell it for 535 minus. So the closing cost, as you saw, was about 16,000, and then when you sell it, you've got all your realtor fees and everything. Plus, you've got $4,000 a month. Let's say it takes 4 months, all said done. Oops, where did that go? Where did my calculator go? 2 months to flip it, right? 2 months or a month on the market. Average day is 30 around there. Obviously, I'd want to sell it quicker, and then 30 days to close. So that 4 months would be like a good turnaround. So that's 16,000. So we got 16,000 closing costs. We got 16,000 holding costs, and we've got maybe 30,000 more of just like when we sell it, realtor fees, all of that kind of stuff. So, you know, you're really looking at like 60,000 maker, you know, plus or minus. And then I haven't done a flip yet that you don't get need a little bit extra. So minus 100,000 minus a purchase price of 379 equals, and then what was I talking about? Another 60,000 in closing costs. Yeah, there's just no deal there. It's just ridiculous. That's 600,000. Yeah, you're negative. But what I'm looking at is, man, kick-ass, new roof, new everything. Try and push 550 if doable. But I wouldn't run my numbers on this. I would actually run it off of the like 525 to be safe. Everything else is a bonus. Minus $100,000 reno budget, and then minus 300,000. That equals 125,000. Now we have, again, 16,000 to buy it. 16,000 in holding costs is 32 grand. That's money gone. And then you have your seller, when you sell it, those costs, right? Which is probably, I mean, we're going to have all these calculators and stuff, but I mean, just guessing, like at least 30, if not more, 30,000, right? So 63, and that's a pretty good profit, because now you're looking at worst case scenario, and that's at 525. What if we push it up and we sell it for 550? You know, then we make an extra 25 grand, but 525 I think is safe. And then if it only sells for 500,000, then you lose 25 grand, but I think it sells for 500 no problem, and you're making 38,000. So like that's that's kind of like worst case scenario. Not worst, but pretty bad scenario. Obviously, this is at 5. So if you added 50,000, because we just took away 25, and let's say we sold it for 550, so instead of 63,000, you know, you have a chance to make 80, 90 grand on this thing. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Put in the offer and we'll see. All right, so submitted the offer, done everything. So now it's just kind of the sit and wait. I don't expect them to accept it. It's actually been a couple hours. I haven't heard back from them, so I'm giving them a call. But now that they know that there is only one offer and only one person showed up, I'm hoping they can negotiate it a little bit. But I mean, it's exactly what I want. I am a little bit nervous, but there is some more time at least. So maybe I can get my contractor back involved if they reply back to me that they're willing to work on that number. So if not, I gotta walk. That's just what it is. That's where I'm at in this business. I'm not gonna, you know, put my business, put my money, put all my stuff on the line for, you know, to lose money. So anyways, with that being said, I gotta go do some more work, contacting agents, just networking. That's what I'm gonna do, and just try and get, you know, my own deals, so I'm not working through these wholesalers. But every once in a while, you can find some good deals through the wholesalers. We have a ton of you who have just joined this YouTube channel and subscribed. Did you know that I built a free course? It's right here. Don't worry, you ain't got to pay for it. It's about $573,000 worth of value. So I basically took the beginning, middle, and end of how to exactly start a business house flipping. So look, it's free. Watch these videos from the start and you will know everything you need to know about house flipping. And until the next one, we'll catch you later.